Good Tuesday evening. I'm meteorologist Frances Peyton from 13 News now with a tropics breakdown here. We're going to start off with things with major Hurricane Franklin currently sitting at a Category 3 hurricane. Now it does start to move northeastward and enter the cooler waters of the Atlantic and will weaken to be a depression by the weekend. But we are seeing some impact for here in Hampton Roads. We're dealing with a really strong rip current, pretty much encompassing our entire coastline from Virginia Beach down throughout the Outer Banks. We're looking at a really strong rip current risk today, and that's rip current risk will exist through Friday, even into the weekend, because we also have a second system we're watching in the tropics. We currently have also Hurricane Idalia, and we've really seen this start to become more well organized and has rapidly intensified over the course of the past 12 hours. And we're going to continue to watch the system organize as well as strengthen. You can actually see that eye wall starting to form quite nicely, especially the southern portion of that eye wall. We've already seen the Sunshine State experience some havoc today from heavy rainfall from the outer bands, but also we saw a few tornado warnings triggered earlier this morning from the outer bands of Idalia. It has yet to make landfall, but likely making landfall between Wednesday morning and Wednesday afternoon. We're watching the threats for Idalia. We're also looking at that storm surge threat. Think of that as inland flooding with that strong onshore breeze creating that inundation. Areas across the Big Bend region of Florida could expect to see a storm surge from about 10 to even 15 feet. As for us here at home, we can expect to see some storm surge around 1 to 3 feet, which will actually, you'll notice that difference throughout the Outer Banks. But let's get into the warnings. We have hurricane warnings pretty much throughout that Big Bend area. Just moving south of the Tampa Bay region, we have hurricane warnings issued. If you notice, that pink coloring extends into parts of Georgia, as we're likely going to see Idalia maintain its hurricane strength as it enters Georgia before weakening to becoming a tropical storm. Following these tropical storm warnings, we do have a watch issued for Currituck as well as Dare counties for us here at home because of tropical storm force winds. Expect to see winds around 30 to even potentially surpassing 50 miles per hour. In addition to that, we also have a flood watch that will be in effect Wednesday afternoon through Thursday, with the heaviest of rain occurring throughout North Carolina. Let's put a tracker on this system. Currently a Category 2 strength hurricane, likely strengthening to become a major hurricane before making landfall again near that Big Bend region. As it makes landfall, still maintain that Category 1 strength hurricane in Georgia before weakening to become a tropical storm. If you notice, Hampton Roads, including the Outer Banks, not necessarily in this cone of uncertainty, just outside of it. But because of how expansive this storm is, we're not in the clear. We still expect to see the impact of Idalia from Wednesday into Thursday. One thing I really like to compare, and also the fact that we do have a major hurricane in the Atlantic, we can compare these two systems and the strength of them. What I'm showing you is the isobar. So think of that as the pressure and the strength that the system can have. So as these become tighter, that system is becoming more organized and as well as stronger. You notice that strengthening as it gets closer towards the coastline of Florida and still maintaining that strength before it quickly widens and starts to weaken as it moves across the southeast portion of the United States and then moving into closer towards us throughout the Carolinas. As far as what we can expect in Hampton Roads, you know what? Rainfall rates and rainfall totals are going to be quite different. We're going to see a decent range across Hampton Roads, anywhere from a trace to 3 inches of rainfall, especially in the southern portion of Virginia. As far as wind gusts, we're going to expect to see wind gusts anywhere from 30 to even 50 miles per hour. And of course, we expect to see that tidal flooding. A different story for folks throughout North Carolina and especially the Outer Banks. Expect to see widespread rainfall and consistent rainfall from late Wednesday and throughout Thursday afternoon. That's going to lead to the threat of flooding. We also expect to see wind gusts surpassing 50 miles per hour. The tornado threat does remain relatively low for parts of North Carolina, but it's not an absolute zero. Let me just take you through a futurecast. Few isolated storms are expected to pop up on Wednesday afternoon since it's going to be such a hot and humid day. But Rain showers start to move in from impacts of Idalia. Later in the day on Wednesday, we really start to see this fill in, especially throughout parts of North Carolina late Wednesday into early Thursday morning, and really seeing North Carolina taking the brunt of this storm throughout the day on Thursday with that consistent rainfall, with rainfall totals anywhere from 2 to even 4 inches is expected. As for again, the Commonwealth, anywhere from a trace to about 3 inches on the heavier side is expected. And as you see, a lot of the rainfall stays isolated throughout the southern region of the Commonwealth. A lot of the rain exits by late Thursday afternoon, but we'll be left with really breezy conditions on Thursday and as well as Friday. Again, just reiterating, wind gusts anywhere from 30 to even 50 miles per hour is expected, and we'll maintain those breezy to even windy conditions throughout the day on Friday. That's going to help out at least with that drying period. So thanks for sticking with 13 News Now, and stay with us for the most recent updates for all the tropics.